talking to me.
I am. And now I'm crying for a whole different reason.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most shocking moment from every season of The Big Bang Theory.
Amy. Amy. Amy.
For this list, we'll be looking at the good, the bad, and the bizarrely shocking moments from each of The Big Bang's 12 awesome seasons. If you haven't finished the show, there will be spoilers. Which one of these shocking moments has stuck with you all these years later? Let us know in the comments. Season 1. Raj talks to Penny for the first time. The Grasshopper Experiment. Penny has been the heart of each of Raj's surprising show moments in regard to his communications with women. Not only is she the first woman he talks to while completely sober, she's the first non-family woman he talks to at all.
You say you can't talk to women, but you've been talking to me.
And now we'll never know.
You're right. I am talking to you.
For the first 7 episodes of the series, Raj's major character trait is his inability to talk directly to a woman. But in episode 8, that all changes as he, while sipping on a grasshopper, utters these 6 words.
Where did my life go, Penny?
It's in this shocking moment that we all discover, along with Raj himself, that alcohol is the magic elixir for his selective mutism.
Okay, now I just need to make sure I have a Lalita before I meet the grasshopper. It's a sweet green miracle.
Season 2. The Napkin Gift and the Hug. The Bath Item Gift Hypothesis. They say it's more blessed to give than to receive. And that's definitely the case when the reaction of the person you're giving to is as amazing as Sheldon's in the Season 2 Christmas episode.
To Sheldon, live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy.
Not known for his emotional outbursts or his enjoyment of physical contact with other human beings, both tendencies go out the window when Penny gives him a napkin.
Sorry, the napkin's dirty. He wiped his mouth with it.
I possess the DNA of Leonard Nimoy.
Okay, it isn't just a napkin. It's a napkin used and signed by Leonard Nimoy. We're not sure what's more shocking, the amazingly perfect gift Penny gets for her friend, or the rare Sheldon hug that he bestows upon her in an attempt to thank her.
Leonard, look, Sheldon's hugging me.
It's a Saturnalia miracle.
Season 3. Stan Lee, the Excelsior Acquisition. In Season 3's The Excelsior Acquisition, Sheldon misses out on a Stan Lee signing at the comic book store because he's in court fighting a ticket that he got while driving Penny to the hospital.
Because of you, we're all going to miss Stan Lee.
Whoa. What do you mean, all?
Well, you're my friends. You'll be standing by my side, supporting me.
Feeling bad about her role in Sheldon missing the event, Penny gets Lee's address from Stuart and takes Sheldon to the great man's house. However, we hadn't seen Lee at any point in the episode thus far, so one would be forgiven for not assuming he'd show up in this moment either. But there he is, opening the door.
Sheldon here is a huge fan of yours, and he was supposed to meet you the other day at the comic book store, but he kind of ended up in jail.
I see. And you thought you'd just come over to my house uninvited?
Whether you thought he'd be there or not, seeing the icon standing there in his robe is definitely a thrill.
Sir, he doesn't really understand sarcasm.
Well, I'll give him something he'll understand. Jody, call the police!
Nice to meet you.
Season 4. Raj and Penny sleep together. The roommate transmogrification. At the end of this season finale, Penny is shocked to wake up naked in bed with Raj.
Oh, God! Oh. Okay, look, this never happened. Do you understand me?
When we had last seen them, these two were in the midst of a fun bonding night of drinking, laughing, and talking. While we can't speak for everyone, we certainly didn't expect Penny and Raj's night to end in coitus. Now, we should point out that, as we come to learn, there actually wasn't any coitus that night.
I had trouble putting it on, and you tried to help, and that was all she wrote.
But that certainly doesn't take any shock value away from the morning after reveal.
Damn.
What's going on?
Oh, it's not what it looks like.
Season 5, Sheldon in the Couch, the Good Guy Fluctuation. The jump scare has been a pretty standard trope in horror movies for decades now.
It is highly unlikely that you two rubes could ever surprise me.
He's probably right.
We can't beat him. He's just too smart.
Gentlemen.
And while critics might call it overused and a lazy scare technique, there's no doubt it works.
What's with him?
Hang on.
In Season 5's The Good Guy Fluctuation, after spending the entire episode trying to get revenge on his friends for scaring him at work, Sheldon goes all in on the jump scare, and it most definitely lives up to its name. When he bursts out of the couch, a scared Leonard literally jumps off his seat. We're thinking a few of you did as well.
Bazinga, punk, now we're even.
Season 6, Raj talks to Penny sober, the Bon Voyage reaction. What's so great about this one is that we, as the audience, don't realize what's happening at first.
I am unlovable.
That's just the booze talking.
No, it's not. I haven't had a drink since last night.
Normally, the show would make a point of showing Raj taking a sip of an alcoholic beverage, or at least have a visible bottle nearby when he'd be talking to women. But in this case, we're so caught up in his sadness over being dumped by Lucy that most of us probably didn't even think about whether or not he'd been drinking when Penny shows up to see how he's doing.
I missed her already.
I know how you feel. I miss Leonard too.
What is wrong with me? Why can't I ever have love?
When he says he hasn't had a drink all day, the shocking revelation really hits perfectly.
You're talking to me.
I am. And I'm crying for a whole different reason.
Season 7, The Comic Book Store Burns Down, the Status Quo Combustion. Not many good things happen to Stuart. Yes, he makes out with Penny, but she says Leonard's name while doing so.
No, everything was good and really hot. And I said, oh, Penny, and right where she was supposed to say, oh, Stuart, she said, your name.
Sure, he owns his own comic book store, but according to him, it's the very opposite of a lucrative business. While there seem to be very few best of times for Stuart Bloom, none of us would have imagined his worst of times would get as bad as they are at the end of Season 7.
What happened?
I was cooking in the back room last night and the hot plate caught on fire.
And you couldn't put it out.
I was across the street at the do-it-yourself car wash taking a shower.
When Sheldon walks into the comic book store, his shock at seeing the fiery destruction is matched only by the sad gasp from the studio audience, and probably most of us at home as well.
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from the insurance company.
So tomorrow?
I don't mean to be rude, Sheldon, but my life is kind of falling apart right now.
Season 8, Howard's Mom Dies, the Comic Book Store Regeneration. As with many television shows, writers try to end seasons with big, often shocking revelations, and The Big Bang Theory was no exception. They did it in Season 8 when Leonard reveals to Penny on their way to get married in Vegas that he kissed a girl when he was away at sea.
It was just kissing.
And then what?
And then nothing. I stopped it. But it still bothers me.
In another season, that might have been the biggest surprise, but in Season 8, nothing shocked and saddened fans more than the death of Howard's mom.
Ma took a nap. She never woke up.
I'm so sorry.
We barely saw her, but Mrs. Wallowitz, voiced by Carol Ann Susi, was a major part of the series for 8 years. But then, in November of 2014, Susi passed away, and a few months later, so did her character on the show.
loving mother, to all of us. We'll miss you.
Season 9, Sheldon Doesn't Take Amy Back, The Platonic Permutation. While learning that Stuart sometimes watches Howard and Bernadette sleep is both shocking and creepy, there's an even more surprising moment in Season 9. You see, as difficult as Sheldon and Amy's breakup is, we all knew that the couple would eventually get back together. They just had to, right? In the 9th episode of the 9th season, it appeared like it was finally going to happen.
I miss this.
How can you miss a game you've never played before, silly?
Guess sometimes I'm silly.
Sheldon and Amy go to the aquarium together as friends on Thanksgiving and have a really nice time. Following the outing, Amy calls her ex and tells him that she's ready to resume their romantic relationship.
It was. Listen. I was thinking that, maybe I'm ready to be your girlfriend again.
But then comes the big shocker. Sheldon says no.
I excel at many things, but getting over you wasn't one of them. I think I need to just be your friend.
Okay. I understand.
Season 10, Sheldon Proposes, The Long Distance Dissonance. Before we get to his proposal, we can't talk about Season 10 without mentioning the shocking reason why Sheldon always knocks 3 times. The revelation comes during a conversation between him and Penny when he confesses to her that, as a young child, he walked in on his dad with another woman.
That's awful.
I know. It's also why I never open a door without knocking 3 times. I mean, the first one's traditional, but 2 and 3 are for people to get their pants on.
As shocking as that incident was for Sheldon, no moment in the 10th season surprised us more than his proposal to Amy.
Will you marry me?
From the moment Dr. Ramona Nowitzki kisses him and he walks out of his office, we're in a constant state of wondering where he's going. Even when we hear him knock on Amy's door, we still aren't expecting to see him down on one knee when she opens it.
Amy. Amy. Amy.
Season 11, Stuart Could Have Been Rich, The Bitcoin Entanglement. In the Bitcoin Entanglement, the guys remember that they'd mined a bunch of Bitcoin years earlier and set out on a quest to find it. Retracing their steps, they eventually find the laptop with the folder on it, only to learn that Sheldon, because they'd mined it without him, had moved it to the Batman flash drive on Leonard's keychain.
I've waited 7 long years, but it finally happened.
Where's our money?
That's the best part. It's on the Batman flash drive on your keychain.
Smart move, except for the fact that Leonard lost the keychain.
Really? Did you look under things? Well, that is unfortunate.
Then, in a funny throwaway moment at the end of the episode, we see a flashback of Stuart sweeping up in his store, finding the keychain, and deciding to erase the contents and sell it. It's a funny coda, but think about it. Stuart could have been rich.
Huh. If I erase this, I could probably resell it for like $10. Things are finally going my way.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Season 12, Sheldon's Nobel Prize Speech, The Stockholm Syndrome. There's no denying Sheldon's brilliance. He's a genius of the highest order, and his ability to understand physics and the scientific world is second to none. However, if there was one other thing we thought we knew about him, it's that the only thing bigger than his intelligence is probably his ego.
I won't forget your contributions.
Great.
And of course, I can't mention you in my Nobel acceptance speech, but when I get around to writing my memoirs, you can expect a very effusive footnote and perhaps a signed copy.
For those reasons, and the fact he basically said it on more than one occasion, the expectations for his Nobel Prize speech would be that it would be all about him. But it isn't.
I was under a misapprehension that My accomplishments were mine alone. Nothing could be further from the truth.
After Amy calls him out on his selfishness, Sheldon seems to truly see the light. And in that light, he sees the true value of his friends, and that's what his speech is about.
I apologize if I haven't been the friend you deserve. But I want you to know, in my way, I love you all.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.